Welcome everyone, my name is Paula Phillips, also known as JournalArtista, and it's Stencil Saturday. So first I wanted to apologize for whatever technical issues Ustream was having on Wednesday and for the past couple days. I've been streaming on Ustream now for 5 years, and sometimes there's some problems. It always works its way out again, and then we go for another few months with, or a lot of months without having any problems. And so we just have to sometimes, we may get a day or two of chipmunk voice or freezing or whatever. But, it's the internet and stuff happens. And I do know that that Ustream, it will always come back. We have to, few days of growing pains maybe, but it'll always come back. So anyways, I apologize for anybody that had some frustration on Wednesday. Believe me, no one is more frustrated when something goes wrong with Ustream than me, than the streamer. So I got some happy mail. Um, I think I told you guys that they moved. In Canada, they're changing mail delivery to all post boxes, like, community boxes, they call them. So it's a little bit down the street. It's about a 5-minute walk. And so Simon collected the mail on Friday, and I don't know how long it had been in there, but I got a bunch of happy mail. And thank goodness, thank you, Ustream, for being free. And I know people think that I'm saying that to be, I don't know, some crazy meaning, but I'm truly grateful for Ustream being free. This platform, Ustream, has helped me immensely. Um, and, I am recording now, yep. So I'm very grateful for Ustream, and rather than trying to complain about all the stuff that goes on, I just say thank you, Ustream, for being free. Because I am appreciative, and hopefully that it just stops, goes away. All right, so the first thing that I got, so I'll put this so you guys don't peek at that for the first one. So I got a wonderful card from our friend Susan. Oh no, this is Jamie. I won the lottery. Oh no, where's Susan's card? Razor Frazen. I left it out. Not that the Jamie's card is bad. I just thought it was Susan's card. Sorry. This one is from our wonderful APG Jamie. I won the card lottery. It says, "Oh my stars and stripes." If you want to see how Jamie does this, you can check out our YouTube channel. And so she does these, and she records them, and then she scans them and prints them off into a nice card. I won the card lottery. Woohoo! And with the card lottery, I got some stars, and I got some cool paper. Maybe I should try to jelly plate on this tonight. And some die cut. So it says, "Congratulations, you won the card lottery. The enclosed card was made using a photograph," fancy word for picture, "of my July 4th journal page. Whether you live in the US or not, celebrate something, because there's always a reason to party. Self-plug if you want to see how I did self-plug. If you want to see how I did the page and card, please watch a video on my YouTube channel titled July Greetings, dated 7/3/2015. And I must have been extra lucky because I got two things. But Jamie, APG Jamie, I forget what your YouTube name is, my friend. If you type it in, I would love to say it out. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. I also got a wonderful card from Susan Love Ribbons that I left in the living room, so I will show that on Wednesday. I also got some goodies from Linda. I couldn't believe it. First, I'll show her. This is a very special card. So I apologize for that shadow. I haven't had time to change my camera setup, but we'll be working on we'll be working on cleaning up my art room again tomorrow and next week. So I'll have my camera down again doing that stuff. So the wonderful Linda White Holloway gifted me the Colorful Life stack. Now I know it's Die Cuts with a View. It's been around for a while. It says 2010. It must have been in one of my times I wasn't buying. I don't know. But I missed this stack altogether. And I know she said that, I don't know, we must have been talking about it, and she heard me say that they didn't have it. And I guess she bought a bunch because they were on sale at Home Sense or Winners, one of the two. And But I didn't expect Linda to send me the whole thing. I thought she was going to send me one sheet, and I can't open it. Excuse me. One sheet. You know, there's 2 of each one. But anyways, that was very generous, and I'm very appreciative. And it's Donna Estabrooks, her designs. Razor Frescent, I can't open it. But it's fun for sure. I'll just quickly flip through it. So it's literally her paint, but how inspiring are these? I don't even want to use it. That's right, Sherry. So I really love her style, that's for sure. They're just like mini paintings. But like I said, it's die cuts with a view from 2010. You might be able to find some online somewhere. And I think it did come with 12 by 12. What is that? Is this for me? Is this a is this a surprise? Should I look? Is there anything under? Some coupons? A&W? I think she's giving me the coffee cup, but that was a surprise. So that is very cool. Look at that Crafter's Workshop stencil. No! I want to say that looks like one of the K&N Company cutouts. You know, papers from back in the day. Ooh, yummo. So how fun is this going to be? They're like mini art journal pages. You know, I mean, this you can use. Well, I shouldn't say you can use. But some of these are just too nice to... But wonderful art. Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate that. But the best part of the gift, not that that wasn't awesome, is look at this card. Hi, Julie. Simon also, maybe that was a test, Linda, to see if I actually used my paper or what. I'm just teasing. But Simon also had a little giggle about this this card. It's actually a postie card. Thank you, Linda. Linda White Holloway has her stuff over on Facebook. She sells her art through a gallery called the Low Tide Gallery. Low Tide Gallery. You can search on Facebook. Wow. That's coated with something cool, too. I know. Exactly, Patty. That's why Simon loved it. So tonight I don't have my big cup. But I absolutely love it, Linda. Thank you so much. It's going to go up with all my other... Up on my... Did I not say Low Tide Gallery? I'm pretty sure I said it right, no? Low Tide Gallery on Facebook. You can check her out at LWH from Mars on Twitter. And I also got some, excuse me, I drink some Tim Hortons coffee, is some 12 by 12 stencils from Artist Seller. Now this is just recently, I guess a few months or maybe 6 months, that Artist Seller, and that's Seller C-E-L-L-A-R, Seller as in, I was going to say basement. Some people call their basements a cellar. But anyways, this is the Sacred Geometry set. But these are the first 12 by 12 stencils I've had from Artist Seller. I love this, but that is sure a lot of extra... That sure is a lot of extra plastic. But that's only just one particular stencil. All the other ones, I cannot wait to make some crusty bits with this. Well, actually, I'm going to save a couple fresh ones so that we can do packing tape transfer through a stencil later on. Not tonight, maybe Wednesday. And so this one, again, so this is called Sacred Geometry. And it also comes in 6 by 6. And, of course, the infamous Cathedral series. But you can buy these singly if you're not interested in purchasing the whole set. Well, you can have 6x6. I'm not sure of the 12x12, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, but don't get upset if you can't go there buying them singly. But I can't wait. Look at these bad boys. Woohoo! I cannot wait to mix these with some Patty Tolly Perish stencils. Oh boy, Crusty Bits Central over here. So, wow. I am just, it's just absolutely awesome that Artist Seller came out with these in 12x12. And I cannot wait to use them tonight. Again, that's a Cathedral series. And it's just artistseller.com. If you want to check it out. They're made in the US. Lisa is awesome. If you happen to place an order, don't forget that to let her know that you saw them here. I don't get any, I'm not getting any royalty or, paid for it, but it helps. I did get these lovely stencils as a gift. So, because Lisa's awesome, number one, but also because I used her stencils in my cloth, paper, scissors article. So, thank you, Artist Seller. All right. So, I was saying to the ladies earlier, well, it's been a long week for me. I just spent the entire day at my mother's house for a barbecue with my nieces, and this time I brought my 2 dogs, so it was non-stop all day. And of course, it thunderstormed all day. So it is now roasting. So we are going to try to do some low-key jelly printing, right? Because I just can't get enough. So if jelly printing not your thing, come back on Wednesday. But I cannot wait. I am excited. So let me show you some, if you're new here, you didn't see what we did on Wednesday, especially because of the craziness we had with Ustream freezing and all that goodness. Some of these were done Wednesday, some a couple weeks ago. So I'll just quickly flip through some of these. This one already has some, I added the splots on top of it. Who glued what? No, Didi glued a Prima mask. A Prima mask. It was an Iron Gate mask. Hey, Meg. We did do this one on Wednesday. This is Patty Tolly Perish's stencil. Oh, sweet goodness. I like to call it arrows, but it's not called arrows. It's called something squares, I think. See, I told you I need to drink some coffee. I'm a little tired. I'll remember here in a second. I'm not looking at chat. Tribal squares. Whew. Tribal squares. Woohoo! And there's some Julie Faye Van Balzer stencils from the Crafters Workshop on that one, mixed with some Cedar, Canyon Creek, or is it, no, Canyon Creek, Cedar Canyon. Oh, sweet goodness. It's going to be one of those nights, my friends. One of those nights. Anyway, back to Wednesday. Like I said, I just love to mix. Here in the background, you can see Julie Faye Van Balzer's, oh my goodness, Echo stencil from the Crafters Workshop. You can see the roses. And then Patty Tolly Perish's stencil from istencils.com. This is Circles Half Full, I believe. All of those are Patty stencils. I think this is called Tribal Rivers. I'm trying, Patty. I'm really trying. And stripes. And this one turned out really cool. If you look at in the background, I used just a cut up foam plate, a fun foam sheet that I just hand cut. And then Patty Tolly Perish Argyle stencil from istencils.com. I love that stencil. Especially, anyways, it really looks like camo. This is a cool print. And more Artist Seller stencils. This happens to be one of their map series. And Patty's Tribal Rivers. I think it's called Tribal Rivers. Pretty sure. This is from a few nights ago. That's again one of the Cedar Canyon. Cedar Canyon? Somebody help me. Barb? Is it Cedar Canyon or Canyon Creek? Isn't Canyon Creek a restaurant? Drink some coffee, Paula. Drink some coffee. And one of the first ones. I absolutely love this. So you can see the tribal one from Patty and then the Argyle mixed in there. I love this particular sheet. And back to the beginning. I also did, we also did the other night, I've got some half sheets that I need to add to some other stuff. Cedar Canyon. Cedar Canyon, thanks. Canyon Creek. I think that's the restaurant. That's what I was getting. My goodness, now I've got the hiccups. Okay, so got some crusty bits going on here. A lot. So this stuff isn't going to come off. You know, if I layer paint on, you know, I like crusty bits, but then, you know, as Jean says, when your crusty bits get crusty bits, you've got problems. Or I've got problems. So I'm just going to kind of flake, especially because it's humid in here tonight, I think I can just easily peel it off. I know our friend Carrie's been having some good results using some mineral oil on it. I know a lot of you ladies have suggested that, and I definitely need to try it myself. I need to get to the Dollarama. But like I said, I guess I have to start applying to some jobs on Monday. Gotta pay the rent. Just gotta do it. I think I'm gonna apply at Starbucks, possibly Michael's, maybe Chapters. I think I pretty much decided that I do not want to go into a factory, which is what I used to do. So now I just need to, you know, how to market my transferable skills. You know what I mean, Vern? All right, that's enough picking at my crusty bits. That's bad news. I shouldn't have said that out loud. Oh my goodness. It's like conditioner. Gail, we don't say that C word in my chat. It's corrugate. Unless maybe, well, it's possible. Maybe you are using cardboard and not corrugate. Glycerin? I'm not sure, but you know, baby oil. I heard somebody else say that that even cooking oil might work. I don't have any glycerin. Hey, Terry. I just think it's, you know, just, you know, I said the other day, okay, enough picking at it. Let's do some printing. So I like to start out with some black paint, and I think I might do a couple different things. This is a student grade black. It's Rayotech, which is a Tri-Art student grade. It's a Canadian made paint, so it's actually very reasonably priced for those of us on Mars. So I'm just going to put a little bit of black and to start out. That's right, Gail. It was corrugate. Cole! Choice. I haven't thought about him for a while, but he's still lurking around here somewhere. I think he's in my alphabetical box. All right. So I was thinking that, you know, everybody's been sharing their awesome prints with me, and I appreciate that. Copying me, or tagging me, I should say, and using the hashtag CrustyBits. And it's absolutely awesome to see everybody's art, especially, I shouldn't say especially, it's just as awesome to see everybody's art, but it is so cool to see Debbie Boring's granddaughters, and of course, our wonderful friend Jane, Lucy Jane's granddaughter, Raina. I just absolutely love seeing everybody's prints. Let's bust out the, here we go. The first cathedral stencil. Bring on the crusty bits. All right. I'm going to have to, let's see, maybe I'll just press this alphabet on the side here. So, you know, keep tagging me. I do look at them all. I try to comment. Sometimes on Instagram, if I'm not fast enough, I know that a lot of people that use Instagram, if you get so many likes and you're not fast enough, what happens is, you know, I don't know if it's just my phone, it only holds so much data. Like, not data. I guess that's the right thing. Like, you can't scroll back for forever. You know what I mean, Vern? So sometimes if I miss a few things, but I try. All right. So I did have some prints over here. For example, this one that needs a little extra something something. So I figure this is a good time. You know, on Wednesday, and I know part of it didn't record and all that goodness, so I apologize for that. What was I trying to say here? Yeah, Wednesday I was just using deli paper to clean it off and not really, you know, worry about these prints. But there's no need to waste the paint, you know, just because I was just throwing the deli paper out, right? Just to be fast. If you have a stack of other prints that you want to add some layers to, right? This is the perfect time to do it. The one thing about jelly plating is, yes, you're going to get a whole bunch of prints and stuff. Okay, where am I going to put this bad boy? You end up amassing, because it's addicting, so you get a lot of prints. You really do, but that's okay. So it's really dark up here and it's really dark down here. So I want to make sure that I'm removing, this time I am going to use a little piece of deli paper here, that I am removing a lot of this paint, right? As I was saying on Wednesday, you know, what's important is this is the first layer, right? All these years I've been art journaling, I've been thinking from the bottom up, how to make layers from the bottom to the top, to what you want to see on top. And now this way of jelly plating that I like, with these crusty bits, you have to think about the top layer and then work down. It's opposite. So the first thing you put on the plate, sorry, I'm hot. The first thing you put on the plate is the first thing that you're going to see, or the top that you're, you know, the top layer, topmost layer that you're going to see on the print. Hair dryer with the cool button. There's a cool button on mine. I've got to hold it in. Get out your plate, Joyceage. So, yeah. So with this first layer of black, I want to remove a lot of the black. See, even this part is kind of translucent, you know, and I've got lots of empty space here because I'm putting other colors on top and other layers of stencils. So you want to be able to see those, right? I use some hand sanitizer, but it's not very fast. It works. Hey, Orla. Break them out, Gail. Oh! Oh, I got Gail and... Oh, I might take an intermission. I got Gail and AJ their foamy things from the Dollarama, but it comes with, and you got to make sure this is dry in between. You don't want to use a heat gun on your jelly plate because it might burst into flames. So only cool, only cool. So I kind of just touch it to make sure it's dry. But what I was saying is the package that it comes in, even, you know, Gail, I think Gail and AJ, they liked the, where is it now? It's close because I used it the other day. Didn't I? I used it on Wednesday. I don't know where it is. But it comes, not only does it come with that, it also comes with 2 sheets of plain 8.5 by 11 foam, fun foam, but it comes with some sparkly ones, glitter ones. I don't know if you want the glitter ones. You definitely don't want to use glitter ones on the paint on your jelly plate, because I think that the glitter would just completely get lost. Get lost on there. All right, so I'm gonna mix. I think because this is the first one, you know I love me some bright aqua green, as I know a lot of you do. I'm just wondering, thickness-wise, is it worth me sending? Let me just ask Simon something. Simon, yeah. Can you pass me? You see those foam things from the Dollarama on top of that box there by the light? Sorry, guys. I know we're taking a little. So I'm gonna. Oops! I forgot my dino colors. This is iridescent blue-green from PBO's. This? Yeah, just pass me that one, please. So the way it comes, right? So there's 6 pieces of foam in it. So this one's sparkly. You definitely don't want to use that on your plate. And this one is not. So what I'm asking is, do you want all the other sparkly stuff? I mean, I can send this whole bad boy. I mean, you know. This is not the one that I'm sending you, though. Although I could have sent both. I got the actual one that you used. This is a different pattern, is what I'm trying to say. That's a different pattern than the one that you were using in Maryland. All right, back to this. Let's talk more work. But you definitely don't want to put any sparkly bits on your jelly plate. I think that it may like permanently embed into your plate, so gotta be careful about that. All right, so this second plate, you know, I think the hardest part about jelly plating is figuring out which stencils to use, you know, with which stencils to use. Absolutely is a big part of it, but also is figuring out how much paint to put on, right? Lots of times, let's see. Oh, I like this bad boy. Oh, look at this yummo print that just happened to be in there. All right, so this is a Patty Tolly pear stencil called Tribal Marks. And because there's extra room, I shall put another stencil on here. Let's see. Well, we might as well just mix all my favorite stencil companies while we're at it. This is a Seth Apter stencil from Stencil Girl. Alright, so again, here we have, you know, but this second layer, you don't want to pull it up like, you know, you don't want to press as hard as the first one. You just want a light press. You want to remove some of the paint that's inside the stencil, but you don't want to remove, you know, all the black underneath, if you know what I mean. Yeah, sparkles and crusties don't work. The whole enchilada. No problem, Gail. I was just wanting to make sure. Some people are adverse to the sparkly stuff, right, Barb? That don't want to be sent any sparkly stuff. So I thought I'd better ask in advance. All right. So in this second layer, you know, you don't want to press too hard, because we don't want to, you know, pull up the black. We want to remove some of this green. Or your second layer of paint, but I don't want to pull up any of the black. So, the Stencil Girl stencil, I find their stencils, well, I have a few crusty. This one's getting a little crusty, if I can say that. But they're thinner stencils than, say, Crafters Workshop or Artist Seller. So it's not too hard to remove, you know, some of the paint. But Seth Apter's designs, this, and he has some new ones out, as well as some new stamps. You know, they have very fine sections and stuff, though, so you might just have to work a little bit harder to get some of that in. All right, I am determined to make enough jelly prints with this technique to make a whole journal out of it. All right, and use my bind it all that I haven't used in 5 years. That's the plan. It's the plan, my friends. All right, even when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, right, I'm just taking some deli paper here. It might be a little too much green, so just dab some off. Remember, you still want to see some of these clear parts, right? Because when I use this next color of paint, you still want to look at it, right? You still want to be able to see it, is what I'm trying to say. So you don't want your layers of paint to be too thick. You know, you just want some light colored ones. I use the deli paper to make flowers. Even Marie, even like the type of deli paper I'm tossing is just like look. I don't even know if Joyceage, look away. Look away. You know, this you want? It's not, it's some of it's brayered off stuff. You don't even see nice, well, I smushed all these up, but you know, they're not like, they're not real nice prints. They're just, it's just me dabbing paint off. I'm just using a scrap paper. Hair dryer. Links are not open right now, nope. So again, it's very important to make sure this layer is dry before we put the next one on. I know, Joyceage. I'm sorry. I'm throwing out some good deli paper. Exactly, Vicky. Joyce is gonna have some nightmares. Well, what I'm saying is that they're not even hot mess. It's just like I'm not pulling prints, right? For example, you know what I mean, Vern? Like I'm just using. I mean, of course, there's color on it, but I didn't think that they were usable. Hey, Annabelle. Except I didn't put my set after one upside down, so the words are going to be backwards. So I have to double hand it because, man, holding this cool button hurts. Yeah, Vicky. Paper sacks, paper bags. That's a great idea, Trina. Trina uses paper bags and spray to make cool flowers. Oh, that's strange, Patty. That is bad news. I'd be sending an email. All right, so I test it, make sure it's dry. All right, so you know what my favorite color combination is. I've got to add the pink next, the medium magenta. So this will be a cleanup print. Maybe, let's see, I'm going to put a little bit of medium magenta and maybe a little bit of the PBO Studio Paints. And it happens to be fluorescent pink. Now, I know my camera doesn't like looking at fluorescent stuff, but usually in real life, it does look very bright. So we'll see how this goes. So some people call this a cleanup print or a pull-out. There's so many different names, but or a layer. So I'm just going to do a full coat of paint but it needs to be, you know, pretty thin. Not this thin. This is a little too thin. You know, because here's the thing. Medium magenta is an opaque paint, opaque color in Liquitex Basics anyways. And the PBO Studios in fluorescent pink, not so opaque. So I'll just add a little bit more of that. And there's no special way to brayer either. I've been having some questions. It's just, you know, I go this way, you can go this way, whatever you feel like it. Except if you're using more than one color, maybe you want to go one way and lift your brayer as such, so that, you know, some of your colors, they mix, but they don't turn into mud. Alright, I can already see over here I'm going to have problems pulling that up because it's just crusty bits on top of crusty bits. I'm going to add a little bit more paint here in the corners and see if I can somehow pull it up. Work with me. Work with me, crusty bits. Alright, and for those of you that are new, I pretty much call anything, any paint that's been dried on the plate, crusty bits. So here we go. So I'm going to print some of these previous prints that I just showed you. I'm going to print the other side. I am going to try to use my bind it all and make a journal out of some of them. So that's why you're seeing me print both sides. Some of them we took a little vote before I recorded, and most people said don't print the backs. But some I'm going to print some backs and not others. Jane's gluing comp books. I'm talking to the crusty bits. Yeah. Heck yes. Mr. Crusty Bits, work with me. I should name my jelly plate Crusty Bits. You guys all name your crickets and expressions and silhouettes and cricket. I already said crickets. I should name my jelly plate. Maybe I'll name my jelly plate Bits. Alright, so it's not, I guess I got a little bit of them off. Hey, Janice. Alright, so back to this. So this last, you know, pull, so that layer of paint, that last layer of paint I put on, this is what is going to sink into this paper and then pull up all the other layers of paint underneath it. So it's very important to, you know, push down and really make sure that every part of it gets some attention. You can also use a clean brayer. Well, it wouldn't matter if you were using plain paper, but let's see. I got another brayer over here. Just to make sure. Now it's humid in my house right now, so, you know, always peek. I can just peek, start to look. Oh yeah, it's definitely coming off the plate, no problem. So here we go. Everybody ready? Oh, yum. Oh, crusty bits. Oh, I'm liking it. Not too much happened over here. I did get a little bit of, but I don't see too much of the, just barely faintly can we see the Seth Apter stencil from Stencil Girl. Alright, let's look at this side. I'm going to put this off to dry because what I do, like for example on this page, when I'm printing a page and a half, I always print the other half, you know, you'll see in the next one. So I just put that one off to the side, and I'll be printing that bad boy. Alright, let's take a peek. Should be good. Pull it off. Oh, yum! Oh, look at this bad boy. Whoo, look at the tribal stuff in the background. Can you see? So the cathedral series are interesting because the way that I put it down, like it looks like, to me it looks like spades. This particular one looks like spades. But you can see, I love the tribal. I hope you can see it. Can you see it? So you see there's some parts on your plate here that is, you know, my paint must have been thicker there. It didn't pull it up, so I just need to wipe that off now. But sometimes some of the white parts are fun. I like that one. I like it a lot. Can't stop looking at it. Okay. So now when this dries, right, now I'll have a sheet that's printed on both sides. So let's put that off to the side. Let me see if I can pick up some of these bits here. Because sometimes if it gets, you know, I'm not too big on cleaning my plate, or I don't worry about it too much. But, you know, sometimes if you don't deal with it, then it won't pull properly. So I do try to remove a little bit at least. A little bit of the crusty bits. Yeah, it looks like spades. So let's try it again. Different color combination, different things. But again, I'm going to start with black because that's just what I like. I guess because, you know, if you look at my art journal pages, you know, I stamp with black. I love that layer, as our wonderful friend Patty Tolly Parrish would say, a pop of black. I love that. So I just have been really enjoying starting with a little bit of black. Because that's what's going to show up on top on your print, right? All right. Sprayer this on. Hi, Mary. Good to see you, my friend. Speaking of stencil girl, Mary C. Nasser, if you don't know, you definitely need to check her out over on Twitter. She has stencils with Stencil Girl, and they are the most awesome map ones. She has compass roses and, you know, like a world, like a globes, I should say, multiple globes. So definitely check out her stencils over at Stencil Girl. Again, if you decide to purchase, just leave them a note that you say that you saw them here. Although I don't have any of Mary's stencils, but definitely check out her work. For those watching the recording, she is Mary C. Nasser, Nasser. I think I spelled that right. Let's hope. Alright, so I got a thin layer of paint going on. So let's try some Cedar Canyon rubbing plates first, and then maybe I'll pull with a different stencil. Alright. So there's so many packs, but Carrie and I shared some, and I got floral and triangles, I think, and Carrie got optical something or other. So, whoa, well, I guess I'm using that one. The wrong way at that. Night, Vicky. Julie. Sorry. All right. See, a lot of people have luck taking this plate and then putting it on something else and getting a print. But I think, you know, the way I'm doing this particular technique, I'm not using enough paint on my plate that that I get much of an image from it. And I think that's, you know, the key to this whole technique is to work in thin layers of paint. Hi, Vicky. Hello, Vicky. Yeah, there's lots of Mary. There's quite a few Marys that I really love their art. Mary Freeman is another one. Completely different art than Mary Nasser. Am I pronouncing your name right, Mary? Oh my goodness, I'm probably not. I apologize. I apologize. If I'm not, I am sometimes the worst. So see, I'm even going back over. My intent is to get some areas that are clear. You know what I mean, Vern? You want, let's see if I go the other side. And it, like I said, you don't have to use rubbing plates. You could use some foam. You can use any of your tools. You can use stencils. Whatever way you choose to remove paint will work. Alright, so I'm really going now. This is going to be cool. But remember, we want to remove a lot of this black because we want to be able to see the next two colors underneath, right? Through it. I'm liking it. Let's see if I can just dust off, listen to me. Just dust off a few more spots. Hi, Imelda. Peacocks. Did we scare Mary away? Quite possibly. All right. But I absolutely love seeing new people in the chat. So if you are new, it's easy to sign, to create a Ustream account. All you gotta do is think of a name and a password and you're set. You just want to make sure that if you're in the chat when you see this, one part will say social stream and the other part says chat. You want to make sure that you're on the chat. Ooh, see, I see my friend Esther Joyce Webb. Hey, Joyce. Another one of my friend Joyce's. And Rain. I see some people over on the social stream. You want to be on the chat. But if you're using, I know if you're using an Android app on my tablet, which is Android on the app, you're under social stream and chat are the same. So you'll see social stream and chat. But even if you type in chat, if you're using the Android app, if you type on the social stream setting, it doesn't like post everywhere. It's just, that's where the chat is. I don't understand. If you're new here, don't forget to look up there. Whoop, 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 somewhere that way. And it'll say follow. So you know when I go live. All right. So let's dry this bad boy. It should be almost dry already, but very important that each layer is completely dry. If it's not completely dry, when you try to pull that last print, there's going to be a whole bunch of spots that don't come up. Hair dryer. I don't know. You know what, Jean? I should probably I think that I can change mine. I think there's a setting as a broadcaster to remove it. Maybe that's what I need to do. Hair dryer. On the cool setting. You don't have to use the hair dryer if you don't have one. You can just fan it with a piece of paper like I normally do. Hey, Nomadic Rose. Gosh, long time no see. Good to see you. I'm so happy and grateful that everybody is here. I'm hoping that our recording and everything goes smoothly tonight. I think that I can remove it as a broadcaster from my screen. But I wonder if that means that will it affect somebody that's on the iPad or sorry, like the Android, like my Samsung tablet on the app. Oh, this one's gonna be good. I can feel it already. All right. So let's do another color. I think that, using opaque colors is also one of my, how I've been able to have such success. Not that, we did on Wednesday, although it might not have been a part that was recorded because Ustream was having a hiccup. I did do it with some translucent colors and it turned out nice. So don't, that's what I keep saying the same thing and I'll continue to say it. That's what I love the most about the Gelli plate. There's so many variations and variables that can Can I chat at my stream? Yes, I can, Jean. I think. You know what? I don't know if I've ever been on my tablet at your stream. I shall check it out on Monday, for sure. Sorry, I'm just using... Sometimes I just need to wipe off a little bit of the black off my brayer that's completely crusty. See, on my Android phone app, on my phone's app, the chat runs over the picture. If I'm on my tablet's app, you know, because apparently they're different, then it doesn't. It's on the side, so it's kind of, and they're both Samsung, so it's just, I guess it depends. So I'm using, this is Brilliant Purple, Liquitex Basics Brilliant Purple, and it is an opaque color. I just need a little bit more. Night, Patty. Oh, I got a crusty bit. I want the crusty bits. The crusty flakes, not so much. Once it starts flaking, bad news. Alright, so just spray that off. And let's see. I'm just going to take the next Artist Seller Cathedral Series stencil. This is one of my favorite ones. I have that one in 6x6. And let's see. Another favorite of Hattie Tolly Parrish's. As you can see, I need to give my stencils a bath. You know, I said it last stream too. I think this one's called Echoes, but just let me double check. Pyramid. Razor Frazen. But you know, they're getting really crusty. I do really need a really needs a bath. So let's see. I've got some other prints here that I started a long time ago. Let's see if I can add. But again, remember, I don't want to take up too much. I'm not pulling a print, right? If you go over this too much, you know, I'm going to pick up some of the black. I mean, some of the black may come up, but my goal is not to remove, oh, see like that? I mean, it looks cool on this print, but I'm losing the effect on the print, you know, on the final outcome print, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean, Vern. Drink some coffee, Paula. No, Vicky, I can't glue any to the journal page. I gotta use them. I still want to use them. They're just getting a little too crusty for my liking. Alright, so again, removing some of the purple, not all of it. I really removed a lot of black on that other one, that's for sure. I gotta try me some Murphy's Oil soap. Alright. So again, just lightly dabbing off some of this purple. And then, again, we need to make sure that it's dry. So, where's my hair dryer? Hair dryer. Now, see, I thought Zandra said she wasn't impressed with it. I don't know. Maybe I forgot. I need to get mineral oil from Dollarama. These ones, Molly, are from Dollarama. And this you can use on your plate. If I figured out where my other one was, I would use it. It's around here somewhere. I used it on Wednesday. Whoa, I gotta finish cleaning. She did? It must not have been. Welcome, Jadera. Jadera? Yeah, what is the... So for Murphy's Oil soap, what is the concentration? Jane filled a plastic box with hot water and poured in about 2 tablespoons. So because it's humid here, I can really see that it's definitely taken longer to dry. So I apologize, but I promise that this is the process that you don't want to rush. You don't want to be too eager. You know, you won't get a print. Well, I shouldn't say you won't get a nice print, but it's worth the wait. See, right there, it's really wet. I mean, you can always dab it off, right? And that's why I call this crusty bits, because we're building up a crust on the jelly plate to remove all at once. And hot water. Resin press. And so hopefully this week, once I bind these jelly prints into using my cinch into a book, then we can start working on how to incorporate our art journaling onto these prints. I'm starting to feel more alive now. Hi, Sin. Good to see you. All right. Now, what color? What color do I want to pull this with? Let's go for this bright green. Brilliant yellow green, which you think may be a translucent color, but it's not. It's opaque. So we should get a good one. But don't give up on this, guys, because there is a learning curve to how much paint, and that's with any jelly plate technique, not just this one, to how much paint to put down. So this is a cleanup print again, so you want a thin layer. You want to see some of the print underneath, if you know what I mean. If you put down too much paint, what's going to happen is when you pull the print, all you'll see is the green, right? You won't be able to see any of the stuff underneath. So you want a thin layer so that this green paint is going to sink into the page that you're jelly plating, that you're making your print, putting your print on. It's got to sink in and dry somewhat so that it pulls up all this other cool crusty bit. So see how I can see underneath it? All right, maybe it was too thin of a layer there. We'll see. I don't know. Could be, maybe not. Let's see. Taking my next page over here. So again, I'm printing the backs on some of these other prints that I've recently made that I really like. All right, so I've got a little bit of extra. Ooh, I got out the 12 by 12 deli paper from Patty there, and I'm forgetting to use it. So next print, somebody remind me. Who's going to remind me to use deli paper? instead of... Hey, Kathy. Good to see you. Yeah. Well, it depends on the technique you're looking at, but you know, there's so many different ways to use your jelly plate. But getting the hang of you know, when I was in Maryland, I borrowed jeans, my wonderful friend Music Scrap jeans, round jelly plates, and man, I was using way too much paint. Way too much paint. And so I couldn't get a clean pull or a good pull because, you know, I wasn't used to it. And I find that, you know, I had problems at the beginning when I started, because I started with the 8x10 plate. This is the 12x14. You know, because you get used to putting a certain amount of paint on it. So don't give up. Just try. If it doesn't work out the way you expected it to, just try a little bit less paint or a little bit more paint, depending on what your result is. All right, so again, very important that we give it a little love. You were on for 4 hours, Jean? Yeah, it takes practice. Like with anything, right? That's right, Jean. It takes practice. Just can't give up. Like I said, it took me 3 years to get this technique down pat. Or to figure out this is the way, these are the prints that I like the most, right? Because I keep saying it, there's a ton of ways to use your jelly plate and different techniques. All right. Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. I think this one's going to be yummo. Ooh, look at those crusty bits. Oh, that's cool. Now, I can't see any, you know, I didn't remove enough of the black paint because you see a little bit of the purple, but not much. And see here, I've got all these crusty bits that still stayed on my plate. I'm going to remove some of those for next time. So what that means is that, you know, I didn't rub long enough. But so that's cool. But I didn't, you know, I'm thinking. Think. I don't see much purple in it, but that's okay. It's still nice. Whoa, cool. Oh, I'm liking it. But see, I've completely lost the pattern of what I did in purple. To the point where I can't even remember which stencil I used. Oh, I used a Cathedral series, but it's being lost in there. So again, what am I doing wrong? Maybe I should have used the Cathedral series first and then some of this other one. And not that it's wrong, not that it's bad, but it just wasn't what I was thinking of. So let's try the same thing, just in a different layer. So the layers in a different order. All right. So I'm still going to use black first, but first I'm going to put the Cathedral series stencil in black, and then I'm going to do purple with the Cedar Canyon rubbing plates, and then we'll pull again. All right. See, I got too many crusty bits going on. They're not crusty bits anymore. Now they're crusty flakes. See if I can get some of these off. It's so humid in here. Just kind of... Oh, it's still gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's just slightly different. Slightly different. Of course, it's not going to look, because I put so much black. It's got to go the opposite. So, we'll just do it again. Know what I mean, Vern? So again, we'll start with the black, but this time I'll use the Cathedral series stencil. And then we'll use purple. Put on some purple, remove it with the Cedar Canyon rubbing plate. And then see if we can get a slightly different result. I don't think that's enough black paint. Let's see. Maybe. I mean, you can use any type of acrylic paint on your Gelli plate, but I sure am enjoying Liquitex Basics on it. As well as this Tri-Art, well, Rayotech, which is Tri-Art student grade paint. I am liking that as well. It, you know, the good thing about it is that, you know, I'm just using a little bit and it's going a long way, right? I know craft paint's cheaper, but lots of times you use 2 or 3 times as much. You know what I mean, Vern? Alright, so let's try this again, but just the opposite way. See if we get a better result. Alright, so I got, this was some ink on my plate that when I first got my Gelli plate, and Jean was showing me how to do that. So I'm just using some random prints over here. Deli paper. This time, oh thanks Mindy. Yes. Pull with deli paper. Deli. Pull with deli. Thank you. I'm going to do my pull. Alright. So a little bit of something. And a little, well, a whole lot of something on that one. Alright. Remove the stencils. Get out the hair dryer. On again, cool. That's right. That's true, Jean. Black spreads so much smoother because it does have more pigment. All the colors. When I worked in the box plant, if we have old ink, we mix them into black. Expired ink, we mix it all into black. And he says, on that last print, you didn't lay the stencil down after the black. You waited until the second layer of purple. Yeah, the first layer in black, I didn't use a stencil. I used a rubbing plate instead of a stencil. Because you don't always have to use a stencil. You can use rubbing plate any way you want to remove color, if that's what you're talking about. Hair dryer. Oh, Brenda? Thanks everybody when you're talking to me to put it in caps. I appreciate it. Sometimes the chat goes by fast. This one's going to be good. I have a feeling. But I'm getting some crusty flakes over here. Alright, I'm going to do it. Let's see. Let's get out a different rubbing plate. I'll use one of these optical, wonky ones. I think that's from the optical one that Carrie traded me for. Go back to the purple. I'm going to do the exact same colors, just in a different things. Yes, I used the rubbing plates. These were the black. You see all these flowers in the black? It was a Cedar Canyon rubbing plate. I did it in the wrong order. But again, there is no right or wrong way. When I say wrong, it's a relative term, because there's no right or wrong way to use a mono printing or to monoprint in general. So it was just different than what I expected. Oh, that's right, Debbie, because it was black. The rubbing paint was black on black paint, and sometimes you may not be able to see it. All right. Looks like this girl needs a little bit more paint. Well, hey, let's put some PBO Studio Acrylics Dynacolor in iridescent blue-green. Incorporate a little bit of that, see what happens. For some iridescence. Oh, see, crusty flakes, bad news. Crusty bits, that's what I want. All right. Okay, now let's get out that, no, where did it go? Oh, here it is. The Cedar Canyon rubbing plate. And I'm pushing pretty hard into the deli. This is just made out of plastic, so it's not going to damage the plate at all. Uh-oh, what was that? Did anyone hear that? The dogs are so tired, it's unbelievable. The girls have them my nieces, who, as I was saying earlier, are 4 and 8, have them absolutely beat, worn out. Okay, so you can see that there's a little bit of, there's some texture going on there. Alright, so again, we gotta dry it. Hair dryer on cool button. I need to like permanent, I keep saying this every single stream, but I'll say it again. I need to like get some electrical tape or something and permanently press that. Yeah, there's a million things you can use as rubbing plates or texture plates. Yeah, you can put plastic through your Big Shot with embossing folders. You can just use the embossing folders if you want to. You don't even have to bother putting them through it. But you don't even have to use plastic, right? You can just use cardstock. So again, very important this layer is dry. And I can see, usually you can kind of see where it's shiny. But like I said, if it's like over here, there's a lot. Too much paint maybe. Kind of blot some of that up. Boy, this is taking a long time. But again, if it's not dry, when I put on that next layer, it's just not going to turn out right. You know, I shouldn't say right. It's not going to turn out the same, or what the, you know, it'll leave. Wherever it's wet, it'll stay on your plate rather than being picked up. So I want to get every bit of goodness. Can you see the black? Now I can already see the black coming through from that first layer. So I think we're going to have a better go on this one. Kathy sent me some shelf liner, I think. Sorry guys. Again, I know it's a pain. Nobody likes to see paint dry, but it's important. So I just kind of tap it lightly, see where it's sticky. I can tell it's sticky over here. I know it would be faster if we could use heat, but you don't want to you don't want to set your plate on fire. That would be bad news. But let me tell you, I'm getting some fatigue in my fingers. I'm getting some fatigue in my fingers. All right. Now, the last time I used that green to pull it, so, well, I said I would do the same thing, so we're going to continue to do the same thing. No, sometimes I don't need to apologize to you, Vicky, but sometimes I've got some, you know, the YouTubers. Why is it a 2-hour video? Why must I listen to the heat gun? Why can't you just fast forward it? Just saying. It does give you time to catch up on chat, Rain. That's right. Welcome, Linen Rally. All right. Here we go again. Try number 2. And I won't move my paintbrush. All right. I'm feeling it this time. I'm feeling like we're going to get a good pull. So, deli paper. This time we shall use the deli. I try to put it down without any wrinkles, but sometimes the wrinkles really do turn out cool. It just gives it some extra texture. So this, let's see, I've got a little side over here, so I'll take this same, we'll compare it. I'll take this little piece here, see if we can print a strip down there. See how you get some creases, some crinkles? Maybe you can't see it. Where's my bug swatter? Hey Jen, why, did you see a fly? Hi Marilyn. Well, I like long videos too, Marilyn, because in my humble opinion, when you know, if I can easily upload, and I will, a 15-minute tutorial, 20-minute tutorial of this same technique. I'll be doing that this week. But, you know, sometimes seeing it done more than once and the explanation more than, you'll get a different tip every time, right? Because there's so many variables, there truly is. So I like, but anyways, to each their own. Like I said, that's why YouTube has a fancy, you know, they have fast forward features. Oh, I thought you were talking about this, Jen, because this is what Eileen calls my fly swatter. It's actually a catalyst tool, but she calls it when I first bought it years ago when I was in Burlington, it was the inside joke. She called it a mini fly swatter. Alright, so again, you want to make sure that you're pressing down to pick it up. You can take a little peek. Ooh, okay. So I can already see Patty's stencil here. Patty Tully Pear stencil. Alright, so now we're going to see what it's like on the deli. So, I don't know if you can tell. Do you see all the wrinkles in it? And can you see the Razor Frazzin? I gotta fix my camera. That's alright. We'll be doing more cleanup this week. Cleanup streams. So, Alright, so I'm going to take a little peek under here. Oh, that's, see how much I'm leaving back? That's bad news. I may have not let that purple dry long, or that middle layer dry long enough. Let's check this side. Ah, that's bad news. We're going to have a wonky pull. I really, you know, I shouldn't say wonky. It's not going to be bad. It's just going to be different. But I do like cardstock. Look at this. Whoo! Hello, lover, as Patty would say. So you can see the cathedral stencil now. Hey, Julie. And, I mean, this is cool, too. Don't get me wrong. And I'm absolutely going to love putting... I'm even putting deli prints. I want to... When I make the journal with my cinch, I'm even going to put some deli prints. But you can see inside... The deli is not exactly porous enough. Yeah. I learned that from Jean a while ago. I mean, I'm sure if I left it longer, right? That's my problem, maybe. The other part wasn't too dry. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually pretty cool. But now you can see that the difference between the two, right? More black in, you know, just in opposite layers. But that absolutely is going to be cool. Now, look at all these crusty bits. So I'm going to dry this so I can pick it up. But you get all of these lines and stuff when you use deli paper. Well, when I use deli paper, because I find it almost impossible to get it on there without that happening. But Marilyn would write in the lines. That's a good idea. I'm going to put that right in my book. Oh man, I'm telling you, my finger is sore, Jen. Like, why do they have to make it so hard to press? Welcome, Whip Smart Carol. Nice to meet you. I'm glad you're joining us. Hi, Susan. I was just saying I got a card from you yesterday. I'll have to show it on Wednesday because I left it in the living room, but it was gorgeous. Thank you very much. I'm just thinking out loud to myself now. What color do I want to pull? Let's see. I'm going to build some layers off this. We'll kind of go off track here for a second. I think I'm going to put on some of this cerulean blue hue. This is the ginormous Liquitex Basics. This one is 8.45 ounces or 250 milliliters. So let's work with this bad boy. Gosh, I feel like I've been jelly plating a lot, but I'm not getting enough pulls. Or I shouldn't say enough pulls. It seems like I haven't done very many pulls. And because I use only one color in these, you know, that doesn't mean that you only have to use one color per layer. That's just maybe my preference. Maybe I forget to use two colors. I don't know. Most likely forget. Hi, Jillian. Who uses the F word? Flock? Flock? Did I say hello, Jen, by the way? I apologize if I didn't. Sometimes I forget. So let's see. I'm going to use one of the other rubbing plates again. And try to take some of this off. This one has some, I don't know, it's got some type of flower on it. See what happens. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. Oh, crap! Ah, sweet goodness. Rather pleasant. Alright, back to the cleaning tomorrow. Oh. I just dropped a whole bunch of stuff on the floor. Good times. All right. So I think I'm going to dry this layer and then add one more maybe. 12 jars. Sweet goodness, that's awesome. How many have I done? What did Carol say? I didn't see. I don't have my phone on me either. Has everyone tried jelly plate acetate? That's the one thing I have not tried. That's a good question for some of us in chat. I'm not sure. Oh, you're that, Carol. Oh, awesome. Yes. My Instagram friend, Carol. You did some awesome prints on Instagram. I wish I need to figure out how I can regram or whatever they say that. Like, if you tweet at me, I retweet. I like to retweet what people show me. The question is if somebody has tried to jelly plate on acetate. I don't know about if it would stick, because like the paint, I don't know. I don't know. I know you can't use like glossy paper, because coated glossy paper will like damage your plate, I believe. Well, if it was only your second time, that was impressive. Boy, I'm going to be here all night if I wait for this one to dry. Hey, Penny. And no, Susan, that's not Penny Thomas, Penny. I'm so glad to have everybody here. All right, I just want to make sure some of this. See, if I rush this, so this part is not dry, see? And frazzin', I don't want to rush it because then it won't look right. Hair dryer. Well, glossy paper, I'm talking about like the clay-coated glossy stuff we used to use back in the day. I thought I read somewhere, now maybe somebody, and there's lots of jelly plate experts in the chat, I thought I read somewhere that if you use the clay-coated glossy paper, like the glossy paper we used back in the day, that it would stick to your jelly plate. Did I not read that somewhere? Help. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Alright, I had to put it on high. It sticks fast. Yeah, like glossy photo paper and stuff. Yeah, it's like clay coated almost. Yeah, bad news, it sticks. I think, you do not use glossy cardstock on jelly plate. That comes right from Jelly Arts. I thought I did think that I read that somewhere. So. But you can use vellum. I've jelly printed on vellum. Model printed with the jelly plate on vellum. That turned out nice. All right, my friends. So I forgot what colors I had underneath now, but I need something in contrast to the blue. So let's see if I can find some fun orange color. Let's use fluorescent orange, see what happens. What could be the worst thing, right? Be a hot mess? That's all right. I believe in trying it. You gotta try it. You never know what's gonna happen. I just want to wipe my... So that's PBO, again, that's PBO Studio Paints, and it is fluorescent orange, and it is bright, like it's fluorescent. And my camera may not like it. It's also very translucent, so we'll see. This could be good, this could be bad. Either way, we will learn something. All right, let's try it out. I'm looking for my card stocks over here. Everybody cross their fingers. I think it should be okay. Let's see. Hot mess over there, so I'll just line that bad boy up. Put a piece of deli paper on the bottom so you don't get your arm all dirty. I don't think, no, acetate won't stick. Acetate's not going to stick to your plate. I'm just wondering if the paint's going to stick to the acetate. You know what I mean, Vern? Like, I'm just thinking if you put a piece of plastic over all your paint and you try to pull it up, how, like right now, the paint, because this is cardstock or paper, the paint's drying into the paper, you know, but how does that happen if you're doing it on plastic? But I would love to hear anybody that tries it. Oh, thanks, Rain. That's sweet. Oh, Colleen with 2 L's. My friend, did you get that video uploaded? Did you try it again? Did it work? Vern? Vern's here. Hi, Vern. You know what I mean, Vern? That's awesome, Dar. Ooh, textured side of inkjet transparencies. That might be interesting. Needs to be, yeah, it would need to be a thin layer, that's for sure. But you know me, I'm all about the experimenting. I don't have any acetate close to me. I have some printed acetate, but I don't know if I want to use that as an experiment. All right, so you want to take a peek. Oh, I'm missing a lot of spots again. So again, I know I didn't dry that middle layer long enough because I don't know. It's in my mind. Or you can sand it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh boy, what is going on here? Yum! Oh, look at those crusty. Now I don't know if my camera is going to pick up how fluorescent that orange is. I don't know if you guys see. Ooh, look at that. So this is the texture plate. I didn't use any stencils on this one. This is the Cedar Canyon texture plates. There's a bunch of crusty bits from the other layers. You see some of the black from that last print. Ooh, I'm loving that. Let's see what it looks like on this side. See, all these spots was where I didn't dry that one enough. Ooh. Interesting. I didn't get much of that orange, only in some spots. But that's pretty cool. All right, let's see if I can get off some of this other crud. Crud, I tell you. You can tell that it was fluorescent? Oh, it doesn't look fluorescent. Yeah, for some reason, even when I try to photograph it, but you know, I'm not so techie. My problem is I'm not, when I say dry it, Linda, I don't mean putting it on a plate. I'm not drying it with my hair dryer long enough. So I'm trying to get rid of some of these bad boys. Oh, more. I think I just scratched my plate. That's bad news. All right. Like I said, I don't know if I'm doing too much talking. I don't feel like I've been doing a lot of jelly plating. How many prints have I done tonight? Only a couple? I better start crack-a-lacking over here, as our friend Dee would say. 2, 1, that big one. All right, let's do one more. How many? Where's my time say here? Oh, spider, don't say that. You know how it goes with me and spiders. Whew. I think the 12 by 14 is worth it because you don't get the borders. The borders really bothered me when I started putting them into books like this. You know, so some people, so the 8 by 10, right, if you're using 8.5 by 11 cardstock, it doesn't quite go, right? You get, you know, a little bit smaller. So I do like the bigger one. And then like Music Scrap Jean showed us, and Patty, I cut down my 8 by 10 to make smaller plates. So now I have a 5 by 7 and all of that type of stuff. Curry's should have their back to school sale a couple weeks now. If you're in Canada, Curry's is the best spot to buy a jelly plate, in my humble opinion. Yes, there are other places, but that's definitely the cheapest. I'm just getting off a few of these crusty bits here. All right, back to black. So I hope some of you will join me. I don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, but Monday for sure I'll stream some cleanup. If anybody wants to, again, if you follow me on JournalArtista over on Twitter, or you can follow me on Facebook. That's where I'll post if I'm going live. I don't usually tape the cleanup ones if I'm streaming, you know, while I'm organizing or whatever. So lots of times it's fun just to be here, if you can make it, to be here live and see all my junk and, you know, help me. Give me some tips. I always enjoy everybody's tips and tricks. Alright, so I still haven't used 2 different stencils. Two of the Cathedral series, so let's bust them out. What am I waiting for? There's one, and let's see. Which one? Oh, let's, we haven't used this one yet tonight. This is another Stencil Girl stencil. This gearage. Okay, so again, I have some of these other prints that need a little love. So rather than using deli paper, I'm going to pull some of this black through those. "12 by 12. They do have 12 by 12. And now they're coming out with a student one. So there's lots of different options. I guess it depends on what you use, you know. Like the price difference at Curry's between 12 by 12 and the 12 by 14, it made more sense. It made more sense to buy the 12 by 14. But you know, it's all relative. It all depends on what you want to use your plate for. All right, look at that goodness. Ooh, this one's going to be good. All right, so again, I'm going to take off some of this paint. And I'm using deli paper instead of, you know, like a paper towel or whatever, because you don't want to use something fibrous like a paper towel. It'll leave, it'll leave the wrong kind of bits on your jelly plate. We're going for the dried, crusty bits, not fluffy other bits from paper towel. Hair dryer. I thought they made 12 by 12 plates. Am I losing it? Do I need to drink more coffee? Maybe I'm losing it. Somebody go to Gelli Art and see if they have a 12 by 12 plate. I thought they did. Then I must have been losing it. My bad. I'm losing it. I thought for sure they had a 12 by 12 plate. Oh, razzle-frazzle. Drink some coffee, Paula. Oh my goodness, everyone's like, there's no 12 by 12, there's no... Well, then they should make one. I thought for sure. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm confused. It's alright. My bad. So again, I want to make sure this is dry. I think this time I'll try 2 different stencils and see what happens. Let's see. Well, I haven't used this color in a while. This is light blue violet. Let's use some light blue violet. Maybe we'll use a little bit of light blue violet and a little bit of brilliant yellow green. And again, so now I am using 2 colors. Oh, I better clean off the black off my brayer a little bit. Just because sometimes when your brayer black, you know, then the vibrancy of your color changes. Or if you have a lot of black paint on your brayer, what I'm trying to say. Because obviously I need a better brayer off print over here. Okay, so here's where you want to think about your brayer and, you know, your brayering skills. Because, you know, I don't want to create mud with these 2 colors, right? You kind of want to see the 2 different colors. So you just have to pay a little bit more attention. It's nicer if you go in one direction. Nicer may not be the right word, but a good tip is to go one direction and not go back and forth, and lift up your brayer in between the layers there. All right, so let's check out a different stencil. Maybe we'll use the other Cathedral Series stencil. Let's see what happens. What's the worst could happen? Be a hot mess, but I doubt it. And because it's close, I'll go back to the Patty Tully Parish Pyramid stencil, because it is one of my favorites. Let's see, I'll get another piece of this 12 by 12 deli. But it was way cheaper, actually. I mean, I bought the 8 by 10 first because that was what was out first. you know, before the big one came out. And I am very happy that I got the bigger one and cut down the smaller one. Ooh, see, sweet goodness. I'm talking and not, I forgot. I don't want to push too hard, right? Because I'm trying to get out. I'm not trying to, what am I trying to say? I don't want to remove the black, right? I'm not doing a pickup or a cleanup print. I'm just trying to get some of the purple off. Right, so you want to leave a little bit of the purple, and I think I'm going to use cream to pick this up this time. Now, this bad boy is going to take a while to dry. Definitely going to take a while to dry, so might be a good time to get some coffee. Hair dryer. Mine's getting wonky. Can you see it? Is it too loud? Is it too loud on that high? Oh, your last layer should be either white or cream. Probably white. Cadmium orange is a translucent color. I would try white. And because yellow, cadmium orange on top of purple may turn brown. Translucent. What type of glue do I use to glue my journal pages together? If I'm using a composition book or a magazine journal, I always use glue stick. Glue stick on both sides. I suggest white. That's my thing. Well, I'm not heating it, so this is just cool air. Yeah, cadmium orange is translucent. If it's Liquitex Basics, for sure. Oh my goodness. Pulling this button is hard work. But it's drying. I think I'm going to put yellow up to pick this up, see what happens. Could be a hot mess. Could work out nice. All right, let's try some yellow, see what happens. So, cadmium yellow light hue, I believe, is translucent. Pretty sure. Could be a hot mess. Could be nice. Oh boy, my brayer. I need a new cleanup. This is getting out of hand over here. Getting out of hand. So who's arting along? Who's doing the jelly plates? I know Dar is. Ange is. Who else is arting along? Maybe I'll mix white and yellow. How about that? That might be interesting. That's cream. Where's the white? White? Oh well. Cream and yellow. Joysages. Carrie's in spirit. Annabelle. Susan is, but now she's cleaning it. Oh boy. So this should be interesting. So the cream is definitely going to make it a little bit more transparent. Opaque. Hi, Vicky. Brenda is. Oh yeah, Jean's arted out for today. The Lion's Den. I apologize to forget your name, Lion's Den. I'm glad you're here. It might come to me. Lots of times you have to tell me twice. Dang it, I know it too. Let me think. It's been a long day. Let me think. Alright, brayer off. So let's try to pick this up with deli paper again. Dar sprayed water on the last layer. That's interesting. Oh, Lisa's still cleaning. Well, that's bad news. That'll be me tomorrow. All right, and let's see. I got a little bit over here. Let's add that. And the white turned out good. Awesome. It is hard to art and chat. Linda's painting? The Lion's Den is Maria. Lion's Den is Maria. I shall remember. I just, it's important for me to remember names, that's all. So I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing. I got a couple of clean color real brush pens, and so far I wasn't too impressed when Lisa and I did a quick test. It wasn't on watercolor paper, but you know, if I have to use watercolor paper, why wouldn't any marker be different? So one of these days I'll test those out comparing to other things. I just got 2 colors. All right. So again, it's important. Now see, we're using deli paper again, which is not as porous. So let's hope, you know, I might have to put my back into it here. I mean, I don't want to damage my plate, right? But it might be... You missed a whole bunch of jelly plating. Ooh, now that's some yummy crusty bits right there. That one got me excited. I'm massaging the jelly. I'm becoming one, Carol, with my jelly. Becoming one with the jelly. All I'm saying is that I need to test them out. Before I give an opinion on the clean color, I just said that I need to test them out versus other type of, you know, so-called watercolor markers. It does have a different brush tip, that's for sure, but is having a different brush tip worth that much money? You don't know. Maybe. I haven't tested them yet. All right, this one's going to be good. 3 minutes, Linda. That's how long I've been massaging it? Okay, that one was a good one. I liked that one. So let's see. Let's take a peek. Oh, see, it's much when you're using deli paper. I definitely get a different pull, but it shall be interesting. And you see, I don't rip it off like a band-aid. Kind of go slow. Ooh, look at that bad boy. So that's a very light purple. Um, you know, it's a different type, a color of purple, I suppose. And some up here I did green. You know, and green and yellow probably not so contrasting in colors, but that's interesting. But for me, maybe it's the type of deli paper I'm using here. I just love that. That's gonna look good in my book. I mean, look at the Cathedral series. Those crusty bits. Mm. I must say, I like this bad boy. 3-minute massage. 3-minute massage. No, no, Trina. New job, massage therapy. Ah, no. But look at this one. Again, that's a stencil girl stencil. That's a cool strip right there. Oh, just the black and yellow. That's hot. Oh, hold on, I gotta fan myself. Yeah, exactly, Jean. It seems like, so when I pull it on cardstock, look at how clean of an image. And when I pull it on deli, I mean, I like, don't get me wrong, I like all of these, I like all of the wrinkles, but it leaves so much left on the plate. Let me see if I can pull up some of those crusty bits. Yeah, massage therapy, that would be, I don't think I'd be very good at that. That's for sure. I don't like massages. I'm one of those crazy people that I don't like pedicures or massages, or like, just don't touch me, please, thanks. Oh, dioxazine purple is another translucent color. You might not enjoy those results, but try it, try it. I'd love to see it, Ange. Yeah, see how that goes. So I'm going to put some black on here now. I'll try with the black again. Yeah, the deli doesn't absorb the moisture into it, so that's why you don't get the... Oh, razor frazzin. All right. I had a pedicure once. I almost kicked the poor girl in her face. I'm too ticklish. Too ticklish. All right. So, let's see. What goodness can we use this time? Oh boy, my crusty bits, as Jean says, my crusty bits are starting to have crusty bits. It's getting out of hand now. Welcome, Azealia. Yeah, you can, right? I'll show you when I take off some of this. You absolutely can. That's a good point. You can kind of turn it over to see if you like. Well, I really liked the gear one. Again, this is an artist Razor Frazen. Stencil Girl stencil. Oh my goodness, I got black paint all over my fingers. Exactly, Vicky. I felt so bad, but I'm like, my reflexes. I'm just so... ticklish. Okay, let's see. Ooh, let's go back and use the tribal Patty Tolly Parish tribal marks from istencils.com. All right, so this goodness here, we can put that on another print. Like, ooh, it will look good, I think, on this one. And let's see. We can add this to that, maybe. So again, this first layer, we want to remove a lot of the black, most of the black. I do have this one knot in my back that just every once in a while gets tweaked and kills, but I know some people love it and some people not so much. Oh wow, see that? I pulled up my stencil and the paper on that back. On that one. So you know I got a little print on that jelly plate. That, excuse me, jelly print. And I got a little print on here. Oh, I took too much off on that one. See how I barely got a little bit there? All right, try it again. Hair dryer. Thanks, card chip. I think I'm going to use red next. I have the hardest time with dioxazine purple in my art journaling. I guess because I expect it to be opaque and it never is, which is my own fault, right? Is it too loud if I go on high speed? I'm the type of, I mean, I'm a touchy-feely type of person. Like, I'll put my hand on somebody's, you know, shoulder or back, that type of thing. But I don't like to be massaged. The mic was not too, okay, thanks, Jean. Just making sure. I know that I have a noise canceling. I know you can still. Whoa. All right, I think I will try some red. Well, maybe not red. Quinacridone magenta. And my dirty. I like to use the, I use foam rollers a lot. All right. Just wiped off a little bit of that. Oh, that's a lot of paint. That's a lot of paint, Paula. I mean, you don't have to do 3 layers, or, you know, 3 different ones. I can just pull this right now. I'll show you. I can. That's a lot of paint. What was I thinking? But this, I think, will be nice. Just the... All right, let's get another couple. All those prints have something on the bottom, on the back, I mean. Find a few more. So these are only, this time it's only 2 layers. I guess just a deliberate cleanup print. Whew. Does anyone have any questions, thoughts? Any good stuff? Tomorrow's Sunday. Sunday fun day, as my sister likes to say. It's a good idea, Penny. Penny says she adds a small amount of white to transparent colors to make them opaque. One time I tried the opacifying medium, not with my jelly plate, but with something else, and that didn't work so well, so I will definitely try that. It's a good tip, Penny. I appreciate that. We speak typo here, that's for sure. Speak and read typo. It's my sister's birthday tomorrow. That's why they're in the U.S. All right. Boy, oh boy. Razor frazzle. So I'm probably gonna be back. I'm gonna put this into a book sometime this week. I'm also gonna come back and do some more cleanup. So organizing in my art room. Gelli Arts tweeted one of your prints. Does that fit? Fit what? Does that fit? Fit. You got me confused. Fit what? So you might, I'll try not to, I don't want anyone to get sick of me, stream too much, but I definitely want to make my book this week with my bind it all. Why do I keep calling it a bind it all? It's a cinch. Aw, Linda. Oh, too much paint, but yummo! Just a little black. And see, I got some crusty bed action going on over here. But see how much is left over? Because see this red, if I lift this up, see how much red is still on that? So, you know, 2 things. Either I didn't wait long enough, the black wasn't dry, or, you know, the red obviously didn't sink into the paper long enough. So where's my other brayer? Oh, that's awesome. They call me art journaler, not JournalArtista. Is that what you mean? Or they called me an art journaler, or did they call me art journaler rather than JournalArtista? You guys got me all confused. It's like reading a broken chat over here. But no, I appreciate, that's awesome. Thank you, Gelli Arts. I'm telling you, I'm in love with their product, that's for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, this one's gonna be good because I waited a little bit longer. Oh, I'm telling you, I love this Stencil Girl stencil. And again, if you happen to place an order Stencil Girl or Artist Seller, just mention that you saw it here. Look at that. So we'd have much more interest if we did that third layer, but this is just as cool, right? From here, we can add other stencils. Oh, thanks, Carrie. Wonderful. Cool. That's awesome. Very grateful. That is a cool stencil. The gearage. I like it because it's a fine stencil, too. Who am I kidding? I like all stencils. I like all stencils. I got a ton of crusty bits. That is for sure. So I think, guys, I'm going to call it a night. Let's just do a recap of some of them. I promise on Wednesday we will not be doing any jelly printing. We shall do something else. Not that jelly printing isn't fun, but I shall mix it up. So I started with Frazzin. I got the hiccups. So I did a couple different pulls from this. And again, these are all on the back, right? So I'm going to be able to bind them into an 8.5 by 11 journal. And I'm going to cut down these into an 8.5 by 11 journal. Right? So I'll have some pages that are cardstock, some that are deli, that type of goodness. Some inclusions. There's another deli print that we did tonight, full coverage deli. I did this side. I got a little hot mess going on in between. Well, I guess I did both sides. But that'll be an interesting one to work through the uglies. Not that it's ugly. I'm just saying that there's a awkward spot there. Excuse my reach. Where else? I got prints hanging out everywhere, friends. Prints everywhere. Of course, we did this one and this one. And ooh, I'm still loving this one. No stencils used, only rubbing plates. Which you could also use foam, you know, fun foam stamps or whatever you got going on. We also did this full sheet. This is the back of that one. There has to have been more. You can't tell me I only did, what, 2 pulls? I only did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I really only do 6 prints in 2 hours? That can't be right. There must be more somewhere. Actually, I don't think so. I think that was it. Too much talking, not enough printing. I mean, I layered some other, you know, this one was from last Wednesday, and I layered some black over it, but I guess that was all the prints. Strange. I guess it's not strange. Like I said, it's just too much talking. I'm going to be a jelly plating fool. Look at all these other ones that I still have to print the backs on. So I hope you learned a little bit of something, or at least got inspired. There are so many ways to use your jelly plate, and you know, try it out. I loved, tag me, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I'd love to see what you do. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, especially on Twitter, so you can see what other artists are also doing, including young artists, which is so exciting. And check it out. I appreciate it. For those of you who don't know, I also have a YouTube channel at JournalArtista. So yeah, lots of drawing time. That's the problem. It does take a long time. I need to be like Carrie and have 2 plates out at all times. Thanks, Nomadic Rose. It was wonderful to see you. Linda says dry for 4 minutes between each layer. So I guess 4 minutes times, so that's 8 minutes a pull plus rubbing. So it's probably 15 minutes. 6 prints in 4 minutes is only 24 minutes. But I did 6 prints in 2 hours. So that's, who does the math? Sweet goodness. A long time. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I truly appreciate the support. I cannot wait to turn this into an 8.5 by 11 journal. Oh, it's going to be exciting. Of course, I will treasure it. See what's going on. Gail, I need you to send me your address. I don't think I have your address at journalartista.com. No, that's my website. JournalArtista@gmail.com. Yeah, I can't think. It's too late for the math. But I'll be back. I don't know who's streaming tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream some cleanup tomorrow. Cleanup tomorrow night. I definitely need to do some organizing tomorrow. And I want to finish some of this. Alright, my friends. Some of these are still sticky and need to dry. Again, check out the Artist Seller Cathedral Series stencils, as well as all their other stencilage. I'm still thinking I must have done another print. Like, where's the other one of this? You know what I mean, Vern? Because I print another side. Like, where did that other side go? No, I'm missing a print. That first print I made. Like, where's this one? Yeah, she gets up early. I think I did see... Aw, thanks, Carol. I appreciate that. Thanks, Vicky L. I'm missing a print, am I not? Was that one of the ones that fell on the floor? No. That is strange. I think I'm missing a print. Or else I'm losing it. Well, don't answer that. That's a given. That's a given. But I think I'm missing a print. Oh! No. That was only that part. I did. I think I lost a print. In here somewhere. The very first one I did. Oh, well. Anyways, I better go before I could be here all night. Yeah, I did 2 on those delis, but I'm missing that first one where I said, oh, look, it looks like spades. Remember? Where is that other part of it? I knew I did more than that. Oh, here it is. Yeah, so instead of 6, I did 7. That's 1 extra. I forgot. And this one was one of my favorites. With the, I don't know how well you guys can see it, but with the tribal marks patty stencil in there. All right. Bella has it. Yeah. No, Bella's passed out. My dogs, the girls had them running all day. Let me just, I think I missed something. It's good to see you, Debbie. All right. Thanks, everybody. Razor, frozen. Everything's sticking. I'm going to bed. I need to go to bed. Night, guys.